Alright, let me tell you about the kind of day that makes you question if the universe has a personal vendetta against your peace of mind. I'm Marcus Hayes. Been a cop for just under a decade. I patrol one of those nice, polished suburban towns, you know the type, where folks decorate for every holiday and gossip moves faster than the mail. I've seen some messed up stuff in my career, stuff that would make most people run the other way. But this wasn't about guns or drugs. This was about pride, prejudice, and a driveway. It started on a Tuesday. Tuesdays are weird theory, not quite midweek, but they've got enough weight to ruin the rest of your week if things go sideways. And boy, did they go sideways. I just wrapped up a 12-hour shift. Domestic call that ended with a broken nose. A teenager with a stolen hybrid because even juvenile delinquents are going green now, and a guy trying to barbecue indoors. All I wanted was to shower, order some pad thai, and binge something mindless until I fell asleep with chopsticks in hand. I pulled into my cul-de-sac, waved at old Mr. Dempsey watering his azaleas, and hit the garage opener. Now, my garage door's got character. You gotta finesse it, pull up slow, nudge it just right with the bumper, and it grumbles open like it's doing you a favor. But before I could give it my signature nudge, I noticed something was off. A mustard yellow SUV. Not parked. Planted. Right across my driveway. Half on the sidewalk, half on my lawn. Dead center. I pulled up alongside, squinting through my windshield, hoping it was a delivery guy. Nope. The door creaked open, and out stepped her. She looked like she walked straight out of a catalog called Suburban Commanders. Mid-50s, platinum hair pulled tight, designer sunglasses even though the sun was on break, and a floral print dress that was trying too hard to scream casual. She had that tight-lipped look like she'd been personally offended by the concept of public decency. "Ma'am," I called out, keeping my voice level, "you're blocking my driveway." She didn't flinch. Just gave me a once-over and said, "I'm waiting for a friend. She'll be out in a minute." I blinked. "You're also on my lawn, and in front of my garage." She scoffed, like I'd just asked her to recite the Constitution. "It's just for a second. Calm down." I took a deep breath. That was strike one. I'd had enough adrenaline for one day, and wasn't trying to make it worse. "Ma'am, I've been sitting here for over 5 minutes. You need to move your vehicle before I issue a citation." She turned, fully now, and looked me up and down like I'd just crawled out of a storm drain. Then she said it. That one sentence that lit the fuse. "You don't even look like a cop. Probably some security guard trying to play tough." Now, I've dealt with attitude before. Comes with the badge. But the way she said it, that smirk, that slow head tilt, it wasn't just disrespect, it was dismissal. Dismissal with a flavor of something uglier. I reached into my car, pulled out my badge, and held it out. "Ma'am, I'm Officer Marcus Hayes. I'm off duty, but that doesn't mean I stopped being a cop." She didn't even glance at the badge. "Oh, please. That's probably fake. I've never seen you around here. Probably stole that from someone." That's when I knew exactly where this was going. I'd seen the type before. The kind who think authority looks a certain way, sounds a certain way, and definitely doesn't look like me. She pulled out her phone like she was brandishing a holy relic. "I'm calling the police." I crossed my arms and nodded. "Go right ahead. I'll wait." She dialed with the dramatic flair of a stage actor. I could hear her clearly. "Yes, I'd like to report a suspicious man. He says he's a police officer, but he's trying to get into my garage. He's black and he's acting aggressive." There it was. The nuclear option. I stood still, jaw clenched, heart pounding, not from fear, but from the deep, familiar ache of being seen not as who I am, but what she assumed I was. A few minutes later, flashing lights cut through the dusk. 2 patrol cars rolled up. I recognized one of the officers, Andre Mitchell. We came up in the academy together. Solid guy. The second was a rookie, Ramirez, fresh out of field training. Mitchell stepped out, eyebrows already raised. "Marcus? What the hell's going on?" Before I could answer, she pounced. "Officer. Thank God. That man is impersonating a police officer. He tried to force his way into my house." She pointed at me with shaking hands that somehow didn't look scared at all. Mitchell held up a hand. "Ma'am, please step aside." He walked over to me, voice low. "You good?" "I'm good," I said, handing him my ID and badge. "She called on me because I'm black." Mitchell sighed and ran the badge number through his computer. "Everything checks out." He turned back to her. "Ma'am, I need your license and registration." She puffed up like a threatened cat. "Aren't you going to arrest him?" Mitchell repeated his request. Reluctantly, she handed over a glittery wallet and a wad of papers. Ramirez took them back to the cruiser. Then things got interesting. Mitchell came back a few minutes later, face unreadable. "Her registration's off. Address doesn't match the vehicle." And the plates came back to a leasing company. He pulled me aside. "This lady's got a record. Parking tickets, toll violations. And get the issue address is listed as a P.O. box in a different city." Just then, Ramirez walked up, face pale. He leaned in, whispered something. Mitchell's eyes widened. "Are you sure?" Ramirez nodded. Mitchell turned to her, voice sharp. "Ma'am, where do you actually live?" Her mouth opened and closed like a fish. "Finally," she muttered, "I've been living in my car." That shut everything down. We all stood there. I looked at her, this woman who had come out swinging with entitlement and venom, now reduced to something smaller. Not humble, not sorry, just exposed. She told us about the house she lost, the debt, the scam she tried to run on friends to stay afloat. The SUV? Leased by a fake company. The friend she was visiting? Someone she was trying to con out of money. I wish I could say I felt nothing. But the truth is, part of me felt disappointed. She wasn't a monster. She was a desperate person who let her bitterness rot into something poisonous. Still, that didn't excuse what she tried to do to me. She tried to weaponize the police against me, someone who swore an oath to protect people like her. And the only reason she didn't get away with it was because I happened to know the officers who showed up. The SUV got towed. She got cited for the false report and vehicle violations. We offered her information on local shelters. She refused. As she walked away, shoulders back, still clinging to whatever pride she had left, I felt a strange mix of justice and sadness. People talk about privilege like it's an abstract concept. But I saw it that day, on my lawn, holding a phone like a weapon. I'm telling this story not because I want pity or praise. I'm telling it because it's too damn easy for someone like her to ruin someone like me. And if it can happen to an off-duty cop on his own property, it can happen to anybody. So the next time you hear someone say racism is a thing of the past, or that people of color are just playing the victim card, tell them about Marcus Hayes. And tell them we need fewer people like her, and more people willing to listen before they judge. Let me know in the comments, what would you have done in my shoes? Was I too calm, too patient, or did she get exactly what she deserved? Because honestly, I'm still figuring that out myself.